Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's meeting is called to order. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 1046 et sec, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by advertising in the Star Ledger, Nuevo Coquí, Haiti Progress, and Luz Americano newspapers, and by distribution to the administrative offices of the Newark Public Schools. A copy of this meeting notice was also forwarded to City Hall for posting. This is the board's reorganization meeting for Tuesday night, May 2, 2017. Please rise for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll now do the roll call for the 2016-17 board. Ms. Baskel-Richardson. Ms. Carter.
Present.
Ms. Fonseca.
Present.
Ms. Gaddy.
Present.
Mr. Jackson.
Present.
Mr. Lewis.
Present.
Ms. Owens.
Present.
Mr. Padilla.
Present.
Mr. Selinger. Quorum is present. Next item on the agenda, we will now have greetings from the principal, Principal Brown, if she's here.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, my name is Principal Sharnae Brown, and I am very excited to welcome everyone to Central High School. First, I would like to welcome you into our school, and there's so many things that I can say about Central. One thing I must say about Central is we are a community school. The model, the vision, the idea of a community school actually was birthed out of Central High School, something that we put into practice, and we're so excited about our community ties. We're so excited about all the work that we do. There's so many other things that I can say, but I just wanted you to know that you are actually welcome here. Some of the things that I did want to say about Central, I put in a video so you can actually get a soundbite. Now, the video is not going to encompass everything that we do. It's not possible. It's not possible to capture all the love, the support, all the things that we actually put into our young people. I personally want to thank my vice principals that's actually here. They can come up to the podium. Just give them a round of applause for the work that they actually do. If your child attends Central High School, they are supported holistically. They are loved. They are given second chances. They're educated. And also, they are allowed to take their creativity to new levels. We are cultivating leaders. And that is some of the things that I want to showcase today. I don't really want to talk about all the efforts that the adults do because we put in a lot of work. I also want to recognize some of my teachers who are here during Teacher Appreciation Week. So we're going to ask some of our teachers just to stand. Give them a round of applause for the work that they actually do. But I did feel that you're not going to really understand what we're up to unless you actually see our young people in action. So we took the liberty to show recognition to 4 outstanding young ladies who have put their heart and soul and their spirit into Central High School. And they are the reason that we get up every day and come to the work and give our all. And we're tired at the end of the day. Just want to let you know that. But we give our all because we are excited about the product that they will actually produce. So I'm going to ask that you sit back and watch this very brief video. And they actually, some of the ladies couldn't actually be here because they're also getting recognized at another banquet, the SS banquet, that I will be attending because I'm going to support them as their principal. But I just want to give you a soundbite of some of the leaders that we're preparing for tomorrow's future. Again, welcome, welcome, welcome to Central High School. And our home is always welcome to you. And I know that because you always solicit our support in your endeavors. And we're going to continue that effort because a community needs a school. And a school needs a community, and we have to remember that. When our schools are interrupted, when our schools aren't stable, then the community is not stable. So Central High School is committed to the stability of our communities because we know that stability is going to be the opportunity for our young people to be birthed. Again, actually enjoy the video and see our young people in action. Thank you and welcome. The home of the Blue Devils, the home of the Big Blue. Go Big Blue. I just want to tell you some great things that's been happening at our school. We have 5 great academies: the Freshman Academies, the Pre-Engineering Academy, Social Justice, Dental, and Environmental Studies. A couple of great achievements that we achieved last year. We actually went up in our graduation rate. We are at 90% of graduating seniors, and we hope to beat that 5% this coming year. Also last year, 78% of our young people were accepted to 2-year and 4-year colleges. That is also improving. Our PARCC scores went up. As we're getting familiar with the PARCC test, our PARCC scores went up in the language arts, and we expect to beat that score and the math score this coming year. We have some great things going on at Central High School. We have a vibrant internship program that's getting bigger every year. We're preparing and cultivating leaders. We have to be better with our practices so they can be better for the future. Again, welcome to Central High School. We have some great things lined up. I want to introduce to you some of the leaders that we're cultivating, some of the young people that we selected to showcase Central High School and for them to receive an award on their excellence. Please sit back while we introduce you to the wonderful leaders of tomorrow. Again, my name is Principal Shawnee Brown, and welcome to Central High School. Our mission statement is actually that we're cultivating leaders. C stands for cultivating, E, energetic, N, naturally, T, talented, R is for responsible, A is for altruistic leaders. Those are the type of leaders we're going to showcase today. And our first Scholar Leadership Award goes to Cynthia Lopez, our valedictorian.
Hi, my name is Cynthia Lopez. Thank you for recognizing me with the Scholar Award on being valedictorian with a 4.8 GPA. I will be attending Pace University in the fall, and I'm in the Pre-Engineering Academy. I love Central because it is one of the most positive areas in this community. Thank you.
The next Scholar Award goes to our salutatorian, Rokia Fain.
Hi, my name is Rokia Fain. Thank you for the Scholar Award. I'm a salutatorian with a GPA of 8.5. I'm part of the Social Justice Academy. In the fall 2017, I'll be attending McLean University. I love Central because it has a great school spirit. It has been a second family to me.
Our next award goes to our Scholar Athlete, Keshana McCray.
Hi, my name is Keshana McCray. I want to thank you for the Student Athlete Award. I'm a senior. My Academy of Social Justice, my GPA is 3.2. I will be attending Northern Illinois University for college. I'm currently #1 in state for the 100 hurdles. And what I love about Central is the fact that you don't let students fail.
Our last award is our Scholar Artist Award, which goes to Oriana Selby for her debate and music.
Hi, my name is Oriana Selby, and I want to thank you for awarding me the Scholar Artist Award. I have worked really hard in debate and the speech team where I was awarded first place in dramatic interpretation and first place in oral interpretation. I have received honor roll for the past 3 consecutive cycles with a GPA of 3.78, and I am proud to be a part of the Social Justice Academy. I am a senior who will attend the prestigious historic Tuskegee University in the fall, and I will major in biology. Thank you.
And because of your excellence, I want to say that you earned your first book scholarship from Central High School for $100. Thank you so much. Here are our wonderful leaders that we're cultivating. Let's give it up for our 4 leaders. 2 of our leaders are being recognized, but we do have 2 of them in the building with their parents. So we're going to allow them to come up and say something briefly. So come on up, Keshana McCrae, number 1 in the state of New Jersey for hurdles. Come on.
Thank you. I just want to thank all my supporters and family members, and especially my coaches. Thank you very much.
She may have walked to the podium very slow, but do not be deceived. She is number 1 in New Jersey and number what in the United States? 7. Number 7 in the entire United States. And she has many, many, many things lined up for her. Her school is a full ride, and that's what we're talking about. And I want to give her coaches a round of applause for connecting her to the people and the resources. Come on, stand up, coaches. And they look great. The second person that is here in person, I just want to let you know that debate is not her only gift. She's also a gifted singer. And so she's definitely one of the young people that we know has a very bright future. And so I'm going to give an opportunity for Oriana Selby to come up here and respond to us.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. First, I want to give honor to God because without him, I would have never made it. And I want to thank my speech and debate coach, Mr. Filbert, and he has trained me through all of this. And he has taught me to be strong, stay in faith, and keep going. And I also wanted to inform you that me and my team, we have made it to nationals where we will be in Louisville, Kentucky, debating against 49 other states. And we will be representing the state of New Jersey. Thank you.
So again, we would have had to take up the whole entire event, the whole entire board meeting, letting you know all the great things our young people are doing. Do not be deceived. Young people are making it happen, and they're doing things that we haven't even done. And our responsibility to them is to stop focusing on us and focus on them because they are our future. Again, welcome to Central High School.
Thank you very, very much, Principal Brown. Congratulations to the Central High School students. Next item on the agenda, item 6.0, recognition for the 2016-17 board members. Tonight, this item will be handled by 2016-17 Vice Chair Crystal Von Secca.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Good evening to all the family, friends, our elected officials, all my board colleagues. I know the superintendent and I have some recognitions to give out this evening. But, and shout out to those kids that were honored here. You guys empower us to want to keep fighting, so keep up the good work before I do anything. And to the parents, that's your gem right there, so good job, guys. To the board members that will be departing this stage, but I know not departing from the movement, I just want to take out the minute to personally, Donald, you know, I'm going to speak for myself, but I know we bump heads, but it's been a great pleasure to be able to cross those bumps in the road and to be able to work with you. I look forward to, even if we agree to disagree, that we can continue this mission because it's bigger than us. So we thank you for your time here, your dedication, and we know that when you're sitting out there, you're still going to be doing the work. So we thank you for everything that you've put forward here with this team. I know Phil is not here this evening. Not only do we appreciate Phil's hard work here as a board member, but also his hard work in this city. So we just recognize him, we honor him, and we ask that, you know, that he's just continue to be blessed on his journey. As he's a firefighter in our city, so we thank him for his continued service in this great city of Newark. Lastly, Miss Tony. Miss Tony, your mission has been ongoing, I think, like since before I was born. No, Miss Tony, seriously, I know all of us board members have had the opportunity to learn something from you. You have great wisdom, and you've been able to bring that to all of us just in your experience inside of a classroom, outside of the classroom, and your journey right now. So we thank you for trying to teach us, trying to school us throughout this mission. And thank you for your many, many years of dedication in this city and what you're doing right now. We know it's going to have a greater impact. So we look forward to continue working with you. I personally look forward to continue partnering up with you in the changes we need to make in our city. But thank you very, very, very much for your many years of service, because you've dedicated your life to this, and it's something to be honored this evening. So we thank you.
After. We'll do now.
You want to go first? No. Okay. Okay. So this evening we're first gonna present this. This is the wrong one, Lizzie. This is Phil's. Can I have Donald's, please?
It looks nice.
Donald, I could freestyle right here if
Yes,
you want.
you
You
are.
want me to start rapping for you? No. Donald Jackson has served the citizens of his community for 3 years as a member of the Newark Board of Education, whereas Donald Jackson has contributed to public school governance as a certified new board member. Right? You got your certification recently. He got it twice, folks, so he's really dedicated to this. Through service to the Essex County Boards Association. Now therefore be it resolved that the Newark Board of Education and the Newark Public School expresses their deep appreciation to Donald Jackson for his exemplary service to the children of Newark and the state of New Jersey. Thank you so much, Donald.
Donald, should we hug?
Donald, if I may just say a word, it has been a tremendous pleasure to to work with you. We've had our moments.
Yes.
We have had our moments. I've enjoyed every one of them because neither one of us ever strayed from the vision of doing everything in our power to give every child a tremendous opportunity in life. So I've enjoyed it, and I look forward to continuing to work with you, and your city thanks you for your tremendous service. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm honored to have this proclamation and this plaque that I'll definitely hang up in my wall. These last 3 years have definitely been a life-changing, life lesson experience that I did not take for granted. It was a blessing to serve Newark Public Schools. I had the pleasure of working with some outstanding people, not only in Newark Public Schools, but throughout the state of New Jersey and even the country. It has made me grow as a person to become a better listener, a better fact finder, and understand the role of a board member. And with that being said, I want to leave a message behind for the newcomers. Your role as a board member is to lead through effective policy. With that being said, you must do your research. You must have a good understanding of what your policy is in Newark Public Schools. You must have a good understanding of educational law. Now, trust me, by no means do I know everything, and I'm not an expert. But with that being said, you have to have a working knowledge. To get up in front of this stage, to get up on this mic, and to get in front of the TV is one thing, and just talk. But at the end of the day, you have to put some action in, and you have to put some work in. So do me a favor, do Newark Public Schools a favor, do the children of the city a favor, and do a little less talking and a little bit more work. And with that being said, God bless you. I'm not going far, and I'll still be here.
If anybody knows the deal, it's a really big deal that Donald and I are hugging up here. So it's something worth seeing tonight. Right, Donna? Okay. As I said, Phil couldn't join us this evening, so our next honorary board member is Miss Antoinette Baskerville Richardson. So we have a proclamation here. Whereas Antoinette Baskerville Richardson has served the citizens of her community for 6 years as a member of the Newark Board of Education and as the board chairperson for 2 of those years. Whereas 3, I'm sorry, I was just corrected. I didn't type this, folks. We live. Whereas Antoinette Baskerville Richardson provided 39 years of service to Newark Public Schools. I think that deserves a huge round of applause. Whereas Antoinette Baskerville Richardson has also contributed to public school governance as a mastered board member, certificated board member, and through service to the Essex County School Boards Association. Now therefore be it resolved that the Newark Board of Education and Newark Public Schools expresses their deep appreciation to Antoinette Baskerville Richardson for her exemplary service to the children of Newark and the state of New Jersey.
So I just want to say a few personal words. Ms. Baskerville Richardson has been a tremendous board chair. I don't think everyone understands the amount of work that's required, the amount of leadership that's required. There are an enormous number of complications, whether they're political or substantive or otherwise. She is a person who has a point of view. She's a person who knows how to communicate her point of view, but she's also someone who listens and engages and brings a level of wisdom to the work that is simply icing on the cake of her many, many years of service. And lest anybody miss the point, she continues to serve in other capacities, serve the children of this district. So, Ms. Baskerville Richardson, President Baskerville Richardson, I thank you so very, very much.
Thank you.
I'll put that there.
Thank you so much.
You're wonderful.
Good evening, everyone. So I have my little notes with me because I was writing them, trying to think about what I would want to say. this evening. So first of all, thank everyone for coming out this evening. The reorganization meeting of the board is one of the most important meetings of the board of impact. Probably this meeting and the budget hearing meeting are the two most important meetings that determine the future of the board and the district. So when I was first elected, let me just go back and correct one other number. I was a student in the Newark Public Schools for 13 years. Then I was a teacher in the Newark Public Schools for 36 years. And then I was on the board for 6 years. Yes, that is a long time, my connection to the Newark Public Schools. But when I first came on the board in 2011, it was the dawn of the Cammie Anderson era. Who knew? But in my opinion, that was the most devastating, traumatizing, and destructive periods in the history of at least what I had experienced in the Newark Public Schools. But here we are 6 years later, and while it's definitely not perfect, we have emerged with some things because of the hard work of the community, the people on the board, and though it's not perfect, so let's not start arguing about this, the support of Superintendent Christopher Cerf, and always the support of the administrators at the Newark Public Schools. We have a strategic plan. We have local control in finance and in personnel. We have 5 community schools, and although they did not have a perfect start, as everyone would admit, they are stabilizing, they are growing. We have functioning board committees. You hear board committee reports every month if you come to the business meetings, so you can hear, the public can hear exactly what's going on in terms of the work that the board is doing. For example, board committees have addressed things that are important on the policy level, but that also affect students in the schools, such as enrollment issues, such as a revised field trip procedure. These are just some of the things, in addition to the things that you might know about that board committees do, like finance and such. And now we're ushering in a new era where governance and complete local control is on the horizon. So what that means is that soon we approach the time when the Newark Board of Education, the school board, will pick the next permanent superintendent or the next contracted superintendent. We are there. We can see that on the horizon. A few years ago, we were fighting, and it was just a dream. We didn't know where or how that could come to be. Along with that extreme responsibility of governance and complete local control is the extreme responsibility of governing, not running the district, but governing the district. Anybody who thinks that when we get local control, that the board member is going to run up in the school and take over and start throwing people out, that's not the way it works. The board has the extreme responsibility of picking the right superintendent, of picking the superintendent that has the same vision as the board and the community. That is the heavy weight that the school board has. So the responsibility of the board and the responsibility of leadership of the board are heavy responsibilities. I'm not going to go into that a lot. At the last business meeting, I talked to the board. Hopefully I didn't lecture, but I talked to the board about at least what I felt was important for leadership on this board. And so, again, I thank Superintendent Cerf. I thank the district administrators, too many whose names to call, but of course, Val, of course, Charlotte, of course, Martha and Lizzie and Arson, and these are the people we work closest with, and Roger Leone, and all of the assistant soups. We have a very strong administrative staff in this district. And I also thank the teachers and the community members, whether you are active community members who are here tonight or people who watch our board meetings on TV, and because that still shows you're interested, or community members who are parents who are doing their best every day to take care of their children and get their children to school, whether they can come out to meetings or not. And the students. We have students in this district who are brilliant. We have students in this district who are challenged. We have students in this district who are brilliant and challenged. The students in our district are simply normal children, and it is our job to educate them. To all of the students, all of this, believe it or not, is about you and for you, because if it wasn't for you, none of us have any business even being in this room. So all of the folks that I have named, all of the groups, all of the individuals, I thank you for your support, not just for me, but your support for the work that this board does. And I thank Vice Chair Crystal Fonseca for your support. Whenever I called you, you answered, and your opinion, your input is always valuable and always helpful. No president can do the job by themselves. To all of the board members, Carter, Owens, Gaddy, Lewis, Selinger, Padilla, and Jackson, and also our student board member, Laura Gould. Thank you for all of the time that you put in, for all of the hard work, and for coming together as a board. To the new board members, Garcia, Johnson, and Bledsoe, thank you in advance for the hard work that you will do. You are moving now from elected board members to sworn-in real board members who will do more work than you can ever imagine. I also have to thank Mayor Baraka for being such an education advocate, and the Newark City Council for their support for education on this board and in the city. I must also thank my husband, Freeholder Wayne Richardson, for his consistent support of my work, no matter how busy he is with his. So in closing, I want to say, God bless this board. God, please stay with this board. I am leaving this board, but I am not leaving this work. Thank you all.
Madam Chair.
You could do whatever you want. We free tonight. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ms. Gaddy.
Would any board member like to speak? Ms. Gaddy?
Thank you very much. I do just want to thank Donald and Tony and Phil for their service to the children of this district. You know, this is a thankless job sometimes, and the hours that we commit, 20 hours a week, some of us more than that. So I do want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the support, all of the time, and the commitment to ensure that the children in the city of Newark receive a quality education. So thank you all, and Godspeed.
Chairman?
Mr. Padilla.
Well, the first thing that I want to do is I want to address the students. Number 7 in the country and first in the state. That is beyond. I love when Newark children succeed like that. It is just beyond. Second thing I want to say is I want to thank Donald. Donald, where are you? He was here. And what do you got? Oh, he's in the back. For all the work, the time that you put in, sitting up here, you're right. It's not an easy job. You have to have knowledge of really what's going on. You really have to understand what really goes on in the district. And I will tell you that they will stop you again in the supermarket and ask you, Mr. Jackson, I need help with my daughter with this, and I need help with my son with that. Thank you very much for what you've done. Tony, my chairwoman. The first person that I called after election was Tony. I asked her for guidance. I asked her to counsel me, guide me. I can't even begin to tell you the amounts of thanks that I have that you've been with me. Thank you for all that you've done here. And I know, all those years, but you're not gonna leave. Just like Crystal says, I thank you, Tony. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Ms. Owens.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'd also like to say thank you for your service to Mr. Phil Sellinger. Though he's not here this evening, I definitely want to thank him. Also want to thank Board Member Jackson, particularly for just, in a sense, helping to show me the ropes when I came in a year ago, being someone that I could talk to and, get a better understanding of what's happening. And he's in his usual spot during board meetings. I also want to thank, for sure, Madam Chair Baskerville Richardson. Some people know this, but we actually first met at Behringer when I was a brand new teacher there, somewhere in the middle of her long tenure, or towards the end of her tenure, actually. And I think that it takes a very special, committed person to give so much of her life to this school district, and she's truly an educator and has the best interests of the children at heart for this district. So I want to say thank you for your service and thank you for your support.
Mr. Lewis.
I just want to thank all the board members, Sellinger and Jackson, two of my amigos. Me and Jackson and Sellinger was very close on this board. I just wanted to thank them for allowing me to call them my colleague, a friend, and someone that I could call on when I needed to. And also to Chairwoman Antoinette Baskerville Richardson. We had our moments, we had our times, but at the, to me, everybody have their Madea, and on this board, Ms. Baskerville was my Madea. She'll whoop you in shape when she have to. So I want to thank you for your guidance. I want to thank you for your leadership. I want to thank you for your service, not to just this board, but to the entire North Public Schools. When I was in school, I met her when I was in school on the speech and debate team at Arts High. She was the speech and debate team coach at West Side. My coach and her was very close, so I just want to thank you for all them years of pouring into me like you did. Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is item 7.0, announcements of the official results of the annual school board election as certified by the county clerk. These are the results of the April election. Jamil Ibrahim, 182 votes. Easy Dahar Abu Hatab, 314 votes. Sharon Smith, 458 votes. Jimmy White, 599 votes. Swapan Bazu, 732 votes. Sheila Montague, 761 votes. Denise Cole, 1,053 votes. Patricia J. Bradford, 1,465 votes. Deborah Terrell, 1,494 votes. Charles Love, 1,568 votes. Floisha Johnson, 2,740 votes. Reginald Bledsoe, 3,411 votes. Josephine C. Garcia, 3,595 votes. The winning candidates, Ms. Garcia, Mr. Bledsoe, and Ms. Johnson. Please join me to the right here. Congratulations. We're going to do this alphabetically. Raise one hand, put one hand on the Bible. Repeat after me, please. I, Reginald Bledsoe,
I, Reginald Bledsoe,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey
of the State of New Jersey
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
and that I will
and that I will
bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and also to the governments
and also to the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and this state
and this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Reginald Bledsoe,
I, Reginald Bledsoe,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess
that I possess
the qualifications
the qualifications
prescribed by law
prescribed by law
for the office
for the office
of a member of a Board of Education.
of a member of the Board of Education.
I'm not disqualified as a voter,
I am not disqualified as a voter,
nor by conviction of crime or offense,
nor by conviction of a crime or offense,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
justly
perform all the duties of that office
perform all the duties of that office
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. Bledsoe.
Yes, my brother's on his way. You know who holds the Bible?
Okay. Ms. Garcia, I, Josephine C. Garcia,
I, Josephine C. Garcia,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey
of the State of New Jersey
and the Constitution
and the
of
Constitution
the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
and also to the governments
and also to the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and this state
and this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Josephine C. Garcia,
I, Josephine C. Garcia,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess
that I possess
the qualifications
the qualifications
prescribed by law
prescribed by law
for the office
for the office
of a member of a Board of Education.
of a member of the Board of Education.
I am not disqualified as a voter,
I am not disqualified as a voter,
nor by conviction of crime or offense,
nor by conviction of crime or offense,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
and
justly perform all the duties of that office
perform all the duties of that office
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. How are you going to give Kim a kiss first?
Congratulations. Congratulations, sir. Whatever he wants. That's fine, whatever he wants. Doesn't matter. Just leave it there. Okay. Okay, Ms. Johnson, I, Floesha Johnson,
I, Floesha Johnson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey
of the State of New Jersey
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the United States of
of the
America,
United States of America,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
and
also to the governments
and also to the governments
established in the United States
in the United States
and this state
and this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Floesha Johnson,
I, Floesha Johnson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess
that I possess
the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of a member of a Board of Education.
of a member of a Board of Education.
I am not disqualified as a voter,
I am not disqualified as a voter,
nor by conviction of crime
nor by conviction of crime
or offense, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of that office
perform all the duties of the office
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'd like to invite the new board members now to take their seats.
Ms. Johnson, Ms. Garcia, Mr. Bledsoe, can you come this way, please?
Before we hear from the newly elected board members, we'll do roll call for the 1718 board. This is now roll call for the incoming board. Mr. Bledsoe. Ms. Carter.
Present.
Ms. Fonseca.
Yes.
Ms. Gaddy.
Present.
Ms. Garcia.
Present.
Ms. Johnson.
Present.
Mr. Lewis.
Present.
Ms. Owens.
Present.
Mr. Padilla.
Present.
Quorum is present. Would the new board members like to speak? Mr. Bledsoe? Can I go to the podium?
Good evening. First, I would like to thank God for this opportunity. Without him, nothing is possible. Secondly, I'd like to thank the person who knows me better than anything, and that's my grandmother, who's always been there supporting me. I love you dearly. This journey that I'm embarking on is very personal to me, like I've said during the campaign, because it is about our children. Despite whatever side you're on politically, despite whatever choice you choose for your child to educate them, at the end of the day, the end goal is our students. A couple of people I'd like to thank. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Mayor Raz Baraka for always believing in young people and always guiding the next future leaders. Secondly, I'd like to thank the Mayor's Chief of Staff, Amiri Baraka Jr., for always being the big brother that I can depend on throughout this entire process. I'd like to thank my boss, Councilman at Large, Eddie Osborne, who's always been a mentor and friend, and who's always supported and guided me whatever decision I decided to make. He's always been there, he's a friend, and I really appreciate it, and I love you, Eddie. To my campaign staff, from Chris Hillsman, my campaign manager, Crystal Harvey, thank you for your labor of work. It has not been easy, but we've gotten through this process. I'd like to thank the community, most importantly, for coming out and the voters who supported me in this election. Even though everyone does not agree with what happened in the outcome of the election, I will be reaching out to those candidates who were unsuccessful and asking for their support and guiding me throughout this process as well, because that is the team. That's the most important. So to Mr. Love, Ms. Cole, Phil, all of you all, I will be reaching out to you the next couple of weeks so that we could discuss, your agendas and what you wanted to offer to the board. So thank you for your commitment to run and to be a part of the solution in this city. To my running mates, Josephine, who is not only a friend, but a colleague now and a mentor. I love you, Josie, and we'll get through this process together. Flo, we argued a lot, but I love you, and it's nothing but love in my heart for you and for your family, and the same goes for you, Josephine. To Dashe, Marquise, Kim, Tave, Leah, Crystal, and if I'm not in Tave yet, I look forward to working with you all throughout this journey. I will be reaching out to you all, asking for your mentorship and guidance throughout this process. So again, lastly, to the community, I do take this seriously, and I will do the work of this district, and most importantly for our students. So thank you.
Ms. Garcia?
First and foremost, also, I want to thank God. This was an amazing journey. I just want to thank all the voters who came out on Tuesday and supported all Newark children and family and exercised their right. We are now ready more than ever to work for all Newark children and all Newark families. I want to thank all the parents. I also want to thank Councilman Aníbal Ramos Jr., Mildred Crump, Luis Quintana, Mayor Baraka, my boss, Carlos Gonzalez. I want to thank all my council colleagues who are here tonight. Thank you for your support and coming out. I want to thank my brother from another mother, Samuel Gonzalez. I want to thank my family, my children, Donovan, Brandon, Michael, for having the patience and understanding throughout this whole process. I want to also say thank you for inviting me, everyone who sent the text out that is here. Ms. Gaddy, Carter, Marquise, Fonseca, Leah, Tave, Reggie. You weren't easy, but we did it. Flo, welcome. I know he doesn't want me to call him Mr. Surf, but Chris, thank you for welcoming me. And everyone out there, thank you so much.
Ms. Johnson?
Good evening, everybody. First, I would just like to thank God. He's the head of my life. Second, I'd like to thank my dad, who's here tonight. Give it up for RJ. Yay! I'd also like to thank my sons who are in the audience tonight, Tyler and Taylor, who were so supportive throughout this whole campaign process. I appreciate you guys, and I love you guys for hanging in there with me, because it was a long journey, not for me, but also for you guys as well. I also like to thank my campaign manager, Jermaine James, who became like my rib throughout this whole process. He stood behind me and he guided me. And before I even was asked to run for the school board election, he had bigger and better plans for me. And I appreciate you and I thank you. I'd like to thank my team. Former Councilman Oscar James Jr., who's not here tonight, but I would like to thank him, and I appreciate him for all that he did. I would also like to thank Jody Pittman, who was by my side on my team as well. I would also like to thank Verndry Elliott, who's also here tonight, who supported me throughout this whole campaign as well. Alterice Frazier, who supported me throughout my campaign as well. Miss Carol, Miss Elizabeth, all of you guys that's in the audience right now here this evening to support me, all of our council members who supported the whole Unity Team ticket, Mayor Raz Baraka, Mitty, Trenton. There's a lot of people that's out in the audience that I like to thank. Sometimes I like to say their names so they can also feel appreciated. And, through this whole process, it was a struggle. It was a struggle even down to Tuesday. And I thank everybody who stood by my side. And my team was just an awesome team. And now it's time to do the real work. And, I'm from Newark Public School System. I'm a product of Newark Public School System. And, my kids attend the Newark Public School System. So I'm ready to do the work.
Next item on the agenda is the board reorganization, selection of the board officers for the 17-18 school year. The floor is now open for nominations for chair. Is there a nomination?
Madam Chairman,
Mr. Padilla?
for the 2017-2018 Newark Public School Advisory Board Chair, I nominate Mr. Marquise Lewis.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chair, yes, I'd like to second the nomination for Marquise Aquil Lewis.
Bledsoe. Thank you very much. Are there any other nominations for chair? Is there a motion to close the nominations?
Motion.
Padilla, second.
Second.
Bledsoe. All in favor of closing the floor to nominations?
For clarity, point of clarity, does that close discussion as well, or just to be clear? After?
Yes, we
Okay,
discuss it,
just
yeah.
to be sure. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to vote on the motion to close the floor to nominations, right? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed or abstain? Okay, motion carries, the floor is closed. We have a motion on the floor for Mr. Lewis as chair. It was moved by Mr. Padilla, second by Bledsoe. Is there discussion?
Yes.
Ms. Owens.
Thank you. Good evening again, everyone. Mike is not far away. So I just wanted to give some comments towards this vote because of my personal and political commitment to the kind of democracy that embodies feminism, equity, and also social justice. And that's not being represented here this evening, so I feel compelled to speak on the point. And I'm going to speak now, and then I'm going to forever hold my peace, because once the vote is taken, we move forward as a board. However, in this moment, I am not confident that Board Member Lewis and Board Member Padilla are the pair that are right to lead this board. And I am not, and I'm disheartened by the process that took place in order to come to this decision, and that's why I'll be voting no this evening. So in terms of the process, I think the nicest term I can use is that it came about through the boys' club. And so that's specifically on a local context, but also systematically, because that is what our community in this country, our society, unfortunately, is built upon. But the problem and the issue really is that we choose to perpetuate it, and we don't have to have that choice. We don't have to make that choice. And it really only serves to limit our potential of what we could actually do as a community, as people of color, to actually transform the education in this city, in this country, and in this world. There are 6 women sitting on this board and 3 men. 4 Black women and 2 Latinas. I feel it's my responsibility to model what female leadership should look like, and so that's another reason why I'm speaking this evening. You have got to be out your damn mind to nominate 2 men to run this board. We women to do too much work and have done too much work historically for me to sit here and actually rubber stamp this. Absolutely not. So I'm gonna make a call to my fellow board members as we move into this year, and I've spoken, and I'm gonna hold my peace, but to actually reimagine how we do politics. Because politics in and of itself is not a negative thing, because that politics is just about the relationships that we hold and how we make decisions. What's happening this evening is politics. So just to be clear, with all due respect and love, as we have had these conversations offline, many conversations in the last few days, but for Board Member Lewis, I need to make clear that you did not earn this. And this is not the board's choice. But over this next year, you damn sure will earn it. Thank you.
Ms. Gaddy.
And I too just want to state that for the record, we tried to come together as a group to make a decision on who could lead this board. And my vote this evening will reflect that. I cannot support, as my colleague stated, the makeup as Marquise as the chair and Tay Padilla as the vice chair. Not only is it a slap in the face to the women on this committee, but it's a slap in the face to boardmanship. We have to look at who is going to be the most responsible person as we seek local control. That person who is the chair is going to be a key individual that interacts with the state representation, that interacts with individuals so that we can have the kind of positive return to local control that we deserve as a district. And so, again, I'm disappointed in how the situation evolved, but I do want to thank the women on this board and those individuals and my other colleagues who at least we was able to get in the room when I called you all, we all called each all to a meeting. We didn't have more than 5, so I don't want to say, but we did meet in groups of 4 to discuss it among ourselves. And as we return to local control, I hope that we have the faith in each other, that individuals have elected us to serve and elected us to lead and not allow other individuals to dictate the leadership of this board. Thank you.
Is there any other discussion before I call the vote? We have a motion pending for chair. Motion for Mr. Marquise Akil Lewis for chair was moved by Mr. Padilla, second by Mr. Bledsoe. Roll call, Mr. Bledsoe.
Yes.
Ms. Carter.
Yes.
Ms. Von Secca.
Yeah.
Ms. Gaddy.
No.
Ms. Garcia.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
No.
Mr. Lewis.
Absolutely.
Ms. Owens.
Absolutely not.
That was a no, right? Mr. Padilla.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mr. Lewis is chair. Congratulations. Floor is now open for nominations for vice chair.
Nomination, please.
Mr. Lewis.
I nominate Tay Padilla for vice chair.
Mr. Lewis has nominated Mr. Padilla for vice chair. Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Fonseca. Motion on the floor for vice chair, Mr. Padilla, moved by Mr. Lewis, second by Ms. Fonseca. Any discussion? Seeing no board members would like to speak on this, this is now roll call for vice chair for Mr. Padilla. It was moved by Mr. Lewis and second by Ms. Fonseca. Mr. Bledsoe.
Yes.
Ms. Carter.
Yes.
Ms. Fonseca.
Yes.
Ms. Gaddy.
No.
Ms. Garcia.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Lewis.
Yes.
Ms. Owens.
No.
Mr. Padilla.
Yes.
Mr. Padilla is the new vice chair. Motion carries. Congratulations, Mr. Padilla. Before we proceed to public participation, item 11, would the new chair and vice chair like to speak?
Before we go to that, I would just like to, I just would like to have a few words. Through this process and through my years, what have carried me is my ground, the faith in Christ.
That's right, brother.
Reminds me of 2 scriptures in the Bible. One say in Psalms 23:4, even if I go through the deepest, darkness, I will not be afraid, Lord, for you are with me.
Yeah, brother.
Your shepherd rod and staff protect me. In Psalms 55:22, Miss Cole, this is not your meeting, it's the board's meeting. All right, in Psalms 55:22, our Lord, we belong to you. We tell you what worries us, and you won't let us fall. Tonight, I would like to thank my board colleagues. I would like to thank someone who believed in me when other people haven't, and that happened to be my mayor, Mayor Rash J. Baraka. I would like to thank Chief of Staff Amir Baraka. I would like to thank former president of this board, Samuel Gonzalez, and the councilman, Anibal Ramos, Central Ward Democratic Party, Andre Spate, and Shanique Spate, my pastor, who's in the audience, Pastor R. David Keefe, Lady Keefe, my Ebenezer family, my friend, my mentor, someone who stood by me through this whole journey, who knew me when I was 13 years old on a basketball court on Elizabeth Avenue, former board member Altery Kinney, who is like a brother to me, who always there to give me advice and to catch me when I'm about to fall. I want to thank my wife, who's in the audience, Diana Lewis, and my son, Mason Lewis, who will be attending North Public Schools next year. I want to thank my supporters. Before I do that, I just saw another person. I want to thank the woman that knew me better than anybody in this room, who knew me when nobody else knew my name, who carried me for 9 months, and that is my mother, Aquila Stevens. I want to say that today is not about me. Today is a symbol of Newark Public Schools moving forward. It's about the 38,000 children we serve in this district. I was a product of it. I love Newark Public Schools. I breathe, eat, and sleep Newark Public Schools. I am here, and I can't do it by myself. So I will lean on my 9 board members, my 8 board members, because this is a team. That's right. And just like my mayor said, when he became mayor, we became mayor. When I became board chair, we became board chair, because each of one of us have a responsibility to serve the children we serve each and every day. It's not me by myself. So I want to thank you all. I want to move on this meeting. I want to ask my Vice President, Tay Badia, to now have words.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So as we move forward to the 2017-2018 year under the guidance and the leadership of Mr. Lewis, every board member up here brings great qualities. They do. I worked with them for a year, extremely knowledgeable about what goes on in the district. I cannot discount the feelings that Leah had, because Leah's brilliant when it comes to this type of work. She really is. Board Member Gaddy, same thing. Vice Chair Fonseca, Dashay Carter. And working with them, moving forward, like Mr. Lewis says, it's not about us. It's about Newark, all of Newark. When I campaigned, I always said that, you know what, I'm not going to represent a special district. I'm not going to represent a special ward. I'm going to represent Newark as a whole, and I've kept my word to that, and you board members here know that. So I look forward to working with every one of you in the coming year. Thank you.
Public participation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We move on to the public participation portion of the meeting. As a reminder, time limits for all speakers are enforced. There is no sharing or granting of speaking time to others. Speakers must be present when their name is called. Speakers are required to give their names and addresses. The public participation portion of the meeting is limited to 1 hour and 30 minutes. Examples of unacceptable behavior that are not permitted include, but are not limited to, naming district employees and engaging in personal attacks, slurs, excessive loudness, calling out, yelling, generally disruptive behavior, attempting to disrupt the meetings, or inciting others to do so. Public participation at board meetings is intended to allow individual members of the public the opportunity to address the board and administration on issues of public concern, not as a forum for two-way dialogue with the board members or district officials. The superintendent or designee or the chair may respond to questions at the end of the session, or responses may be provided at a later time. The superintendent or chair may interrupt any speaker or terminate any speaking privilege if the comments are disruptive or obscene. An individual may be cautioned that a personally directed statement may be slanderous or defaming, and that the individual may be liable for his or her statements. Attempts to hijack or filibuster the proceedings, repeated interrupting or badgering the board members or district officials, repetitive and truculent speech, or disregard of the rules of decorum are not tolerated and may subject the individual to removal from the meeting. If necessary, the meeting may be adjourned.
First speaker, Brenda Munoz. Brenda Munoz. Kathleen Witcher.
Good evening, Kathleen Witcher, 80 Johnson Avenue. I represent the Southside Malcolm X Shabazz High School Alumni Association. I want to say to the outgoing board members Jackson, Sellinger, and Richardson, thanks for your efforts. Many people don't know this is a volunteer position. Many times you had to fight many causes, and the children, in the long run, must benefit. To the new school board members, it is incumbent upon you to learn the role, to learn the operations of a school board member. You have a fiduciary responsibility, and it is one that can make or break. It is one where we are now going to local control, and we need your diligence. At Malcolm X Shabazz High School, we are going to finally get one of the CTE classes, as Ms. Wilson has told me this evening. We will be getting cosmetology up and running and a new lab. We are still waiting for the others, so we ask all of you board members to work together. In unity, there is strength. I want to invite everyone to our coming spring county meeting for Essex County PTA and the New Jersey PTA. I serve as the Education and Special Education Chair. Our spring meeting is Saturday, May 20th. Everyone is invited. We have 3 panels. First, bullying and human trafficking. Second will be ESSA and school funding updates. And the third will be parent and community advocacy. What we can do to make sure that all of the children are getting their entitlement by state constitution of thorough and efficient education. That program will be at Marion A. Bolden Center, 230 Broadway in Newark, and it will be from 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Thank you.
Deborah Smith Gregory. Deborah Smith Gregory.
Next speaker.
Maureen Robinson.
Good evening, Maureen Robinson, 428 Doyle Street, Elizabeth, New Jersey, teacher here at Central High School. I concur with Elizabeth Warren's position that if you have to stand, that you have to stand for something, even if you have to stand alone. I'm not going to read all of my speech tonight. I want to congratulate Marquise. It was a long, hard fight for you. Long, hard fight for you, okay? Leah, I'm kind of taken aback by you because you know I supported you when you was running. Okay, so we can talk about that later. I'll be speaking before the commission tomorrow in Trenton, so I take my grievances and whatever I have up there. But Marquise, I want you to know, I've heard you preach. I know you're a man of God, and all the haters are going to come. They're going to come. You know that. You know the word. So, and I'm not here to preach, but you know what? I saw you suffer. And it's really sad that we divide and conquer like that, okay? One day we're going to come together. One day, okay? So I'm not going to go through my speech because, like I said, I'll be speaking before the commission tomorrow with my issues, and I've come across some important people tonight who can solve some of the problems and concerns that I'm having right here at this school, Central High School in Newark, New Jersey. Thank you.
Yolanda Johnson. Yolanda Johnson.
Next speaker.
Denise Cole.
First, I want to congratulate the newly elected to the board. You are on the board because the people elected you, and I will be here as an overseer watching over you. Remember the oath that you took. The oath that you took stated the Constitution of the New Jersey and the state's Constitution. That governs Newark Public Schools. It does not govern charters. Every decision you make needs to be in reference to Newark Public Schools. That little slogan y'all had, I'm for all the children, I'm for all the children too. If a charter school called me and needed me to advocate, I'd be there. But this is not an all-city board, it's the Newark Public School Board. And just like FloJo, when you went down to Trenton and advocated strictly for charters, this is now a Newark Public School Board. You must show those same skills and strictly advocate for Newark Public School children and the advancement of our schools to blue ribbon schools. I will support you because you were elected by the people. I will watch over you because you were elected by the people. And Marquise, I congratulate you because I support you anyway. I'm going to get on you. You know I'm going to be hard. Oh, well. But yeah, I got your back also. So I got your back. And Surf better know than anybody. I get him from 9 to 5 or 6 to 10. When he come off the stage, we all right. Because this is not personal. It is strictly professional. It is strictly about the children of the city of Newark. It is strictly about traditional, common public schools. Know your ethics policy, because now the ethics will be pulled out if you play politics like you played politics tonight. You will leave a path, you will leave a trail, and you will not be sitting on that board once that ethics complaint is filed and verified. Your decisions must be for Newark Public Schools. Thank you guys, and I wish you the best of luck advocating for traditional, common public school children and our curriculum, our social justice, and also our Amistad Act. Thank you.
Gina Medina. Gina Medina. Donna Jackson.
Donna Jackson, 128 Smith Street. This is the saddest night for the children of Newark, because we just sat here and watched the circus again. But I guess now it's an even more unified circus. Leah, in regards to your comments, Mayor Baz Baraka, you just slapped every woman on this board in the face with your incompetence, with your lack of reaching across the aisle. We know you can reach across the aisle. We know you can make bad deals, because you just did, again. And we know you don't know what you're doing. But every decision you make every person you place shows us your incompetence. We are now faced with the continued conversation of local control. And I'm telling you what the state of New Jersey saying tonight, hell no, you ain't getting it. You just sent us the message loud and clear that y'all don't want local control, that you're not serious about local control, and that you guys in Newark are not involved in the process. I like how y'all keep having these little kumbaya, can't we all get along conversations. No, we can't. The playing field is not leveled for all children. We still keep telling the lie that charter schools are public schools. They are not. They are not governed by the same graduation requirements. They are not governed by the same curriculum requirements. They are not governed by the same classroom requirements. And they sure ain't governed by the same special ed laws. So when this side can do this, but this side must do that. As Ms. Wilson and others struggle every year to put our budget back together, y'all better understand. Because one thing for sure and two things for certain, I am the mouth of Newark. I do kick butt. And now I know I got to go home and rest. Because I know I got to come every month and continue to do this. I know I got to stand at this mic I can't miss a month. I have to bring my granddaughter with me. Because this is sad that we've done this. Raz Baraka, you should be ashamed. Every one of y'all sitting up there should be ashamed for thanking him for this. Our children in Newark are in crisis. We have done nothing to fix that. We were moving in some directions. Some of you on the board kind of got it a little bit, even though you didn't have it when you first sat in them chairs. You're trying to come along. But now I got to deal with what I got to deal with. Ain't never been here, ain't never been to a rally, never stood up for our children, and now you sit here. Well, just be forewarned. As I have kicked Rashawn Hassan's behind, Miss Baskerville behind, Marquise, get your booty ready, because the foot is coming.
We signed up to speak. I don't see our names up there, excuse me.
Ms. Holder.
Holder and Lyndon Brown, we signed up to speak. I
Ms.
don't see our
Holder,
names there.
I do not have a record of you signed up to speak. We are being told that there's no indication of such. Mr. Lucius Jones. Okay. You're not on the list, Ms. Holder.
Public participation is now closed. Old and new business? No old and new business?
New business.
Ms. Gaddy?
I just want to also, earlier we had Kashana McCray come before this board. She will be honored at our board meeting at Central. I also want to remind the public of two upcoming events. Just hold on one second. There was flyers outside. We have a community listening session coming up on May 24th. The next board meeting is at Science Park. That's where she's going to be honored. The listening session is May 24th from 5:30 to 7:30 right here at Central. The three areas we will be focusing on are class size, school as safe zones, and summer learning. So please take a flyer that's out front. Pass the word. Let's have a serious conversation about those three topics, as well as there are some key dates from the Community Engagement Committee. Please take a copy of that. Look at the important meetings that are coming before you. It's really important that the community comes out and let your voice be heard. Thank you.
Just before we adjourn, all board members, please return your forms back and even today or by Friday, the latest tomorrow, so that we can get the committees and everything in place for you. No more new business, meeting adjourned.
We need a motion, Mr. Chair. You have a motion? Yeah, I need a motion. Mr. Padilla?
Motion.
Okay, Ms. Gaddy, second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, any opposed? Meeting adjourned. Good night.